If a man who already has a girlfriend or is married begins showing interest in you, I want you to hear this very clearly. He is not doing it because of love. And no, it's not because his partner no longer understands him, or because he's never experienced feelings like this before, or because you're somehow different from everyone else. Those words may sound beautiful. They may even make your heart race. But they are not the real story. The truth goes much deeper, and it is far less romantic than it appears. When a man gets emotionally involved with you while he is still committed to someone else, he is not thinking about your future. He is thinking about himself. He may be acting from impulse, attraction, boredom, or a deep need to feel noticed and admired again. But what he is not offering is honesty, stability, or a relationship built on genuine love. He wants an escape from his everyday life, not someone he truly intends to build a future with. You deserve to understand this from the start. It isn't right for you to give your time, your energy, your emotions, and your heart to someone who has no real plan to give you the same. Don't tell yourself that you're simply not enough for him to leave his partner. That isn't what this situation is about. It has nothing to do with your value. It has everything to do with his lack of courage. He doesn't have the strength to live honestly, and if he can't make truthful decisions in his own life, what makes you believe he'll suddenly make the right ones for yours? Stay with me, because what comes next is something many people never realize. Let me speak to you like someone who genuinely cares about your well-being, like a close friend who doesn't want to watch you get hurt. That man isn't chasing you because he has fallen deeply in love. He's coming toward you because his ego is hungry. Keep this in your mind. When a man who is already in a relationship approaches you, it isn't because you are the missing piece of his life. It isn't because destiny has finally brought you together. Most of the time, it's because he wants to feel powerful again. He wants proof that he is still attractive, still desired, still capable of getting someone's attention. What he is searching for is validation, not real connection. Maybe he no longer feels appreciated or important in his current relationship, but instead of facing those feelings and working through the problems in his own life, he begins searching for comfort somewhere else. That's where you appear. He enjoys knowing another woman finds him attractive. It gives him excitement. It makes him feel confident, important, and alive again. Without realizing it, you may be filling an emotional gap that he refuses to deal with himself. This isn't love. It's dissatisfaction with his own life. Instead of healing those empty places inside, he uses your attention to escape them. You become a temporary distraction while he offers you sweet words, incomplete truths, and just enough affection to keep you emotionally attached. Don't stop listening, because this next part could completely change how you see situations like this. The hardest truth is that in many situations, it isn't really about you at all. It could have been almost anyone willing to give him the attention he was craving. I'm not saying that to make you feel unimportant or to question your worth. I'm saying it because you deserve honesty instead of comforting lies. Don't turn something ordinary into a love story that only exists in your imagination. He isn't planning a meaningful future with you. He's focused on what he can receive from you in the present. A man who truly loves doesn't gamble with the hearts of people he cares about. If he wants you to stay hidden, to remain a secret, or to become part of an affair that nobody knows about, he isn't protecting your heart. He's protecting his comfort, his reputation, and the life he already has. He's making sure he can keep everything while adding something extra on the side. That isn't being chosen. That is being used. Don't mistake late-night conversations or intense moments of passion for lasting love. Don't confuse excitement with commitment. You deserve to be someone's first and only choice, never someone's second option. You deserve more than becoming the emotional escape from another person's unfinished problems. Remember that, because your future deserves much better than temporary attention disguised as affection. Maybe he has already told you that his relationship is falling apart. Maybe he says he doesn't feel anything for his partner anymore, or that they're only staying together because of the children. Perhaps he tells you that you're different, that you make him feel alive again, or that meeting you changed everything. Those words can make anyone believe they are someone's rescue, someone's fresh beginning, or someone's chance to finally be happy. But there is something you need to understand, even if it feels painful at first. That truth can also protect your heart. Most likely, he isn't going to leave her. Not yesterday, not today, and probably not tomorrow. Because when a man truly wants to build a life with someone, he doesn't hide behind endless excuses. He takes responsibility. He makes difficult decisions. He chooses honesty even when it costs him comfort. If his relationship had truly ended in his heart, he would have finished it before ever inviting someone else into the picture. Actions always reveal what words try to hide. Never forget that. Listen carefully, because this lesson alone can save you from months or even years of heartbreak. A man with real integrity does not begin building something new while still holding on to something old. A man who truly loves you will want to protect your heart, not pull it into confusion and pain. But men like this often remain trapped in the same pattern for months, sometimes even years, constantly saying they're about to leave, that they only need a little more time. They say the timing isn't right, they don't want to hurt anyone. They claim they're waiting for the perfect moment. But somehow that perfect moment never arrives. He never truly chooses you. He never closes one chapter before trying to begin another. And during all that time, you're left waiting, hoping, believing that one day everything he's promised will finally become real. Yet deep inside, you already know the truth. If he hasn't walked away by now, it's not because he isn't able to. It's because he has decided not to. You're not the future he's building. You're the escape he runs toward whenever reality becomes uncomfortable. You exist somewhere between his excuses and the comfort of the life he refuses to leave. Yes, maybe he speaks gently to you. Maybe he listens carefully and makes you feel like you're the only person who truly understands him. Maybe he even says he loves you. But real love is much more than beautiful words whispered in secret. Real love is shown through actions. It is steady. It is consistent. It is choosing someone completely without hiding them from the world. Stay with me, because the next truth is one many people realize far too late. Ask yourself a few honest questions. Who wakes up beside him every morning? Who spends weekends, holidays, birthdays, and family gatherings with him? Who shares his home, his daily routines, and the life everyone else can see? Who has a real place in the world he has built? If the answer isn't you, then ask yourself what place you truly hold in his life. You were never meant to become someone's hidden secret. You were never created to be a temporary solution for another person's emotional emptiness. You deserve to be seen, respected, appreciated, and chosen openly, not hidden behind locked doors, secret conversations, and silent promises. If you are not his priority, then you are simply a hidden chapter in a story he never truly planned to finish. Don't become the woman who spends years waiting, making excuses for him, lowering her standards, and convincing herself that someday everything will change. You deserve a relationship that doesn't exist between two separate lives. You deserve a love that is honest, secure, and completely free. But that is not what he is giving you. The painful reality is that he only offers you small pieces of himself. If he already has a partner and still keeps chasing you, then you will never become his first choice. No matter how convincing his words sound or how many promises he makes, you will always receive whatever remains after everyone else has already been given their place. Don't stop listening now, because this next part could completely change the way you see this situation. He'll spend time with you only when it fits into his schedule, not when your heart truly needs him. He'll call whenever it's convenient for him, not when you've been waiting all day. His messages will arrive quietly, privately, always careful, always hidden, always making sure nobody discovers what's happening. And whenever you finally gather the courage to ask why he's become distant, he'll always have another believable explanation. The children needed him. His partner wasn't feeling well. Work became stressful. He was too busy to reply. He couldn't find the right moment. Instead of giving you honesty, he'll hand you guilt disguised as understanding. He'll ask why you're upset. He'll remind you how difficult everything is for him. He'll say he's suffering too and ask you not to make things harder. Can you see how easily the roles become reversed? You slowly become the patient one, the understanding one, the person who keeps adjusting, forgiving, and waiting while he continues enjoying the comfort of living in two different worlds at the same time. Never forget that he already has stability waiting for him every day. He has a home, a familiar routine, emotional support, and someone beside him through ordinary life. Then whenever he wants excitement or emotional relief, he reaches out to you. But you are often left sitting alone, staring at your phone, hoping for a message that may never arrive, believing another promise that becomes weaker with every passing day. What he's giving you isn't lasting love. It's only brief attention whenever it suits his emotional needs. It's a small opening in his schedule. It's a late-night message saying he misses you, sent while the rest of the world is asleep, with nothing meaningful ever following afterward. There is no real plan, no genuine commitment, no lasting change. That isn't love. It's emotional convenience. He turns towards you whenever he feels empty, whenever he's arguing at home, whenever boredom settles in, or whenever he needs someone to remind him that he's still wanted. And once those feelings fade, he quietly disappears again. Suddenly there is silence, more excuses, more distance, and you're left questioning yourself, wondering what mistake you made, even though none of this was caused by you. The truth is that you are never the problem. The real problem is that someone who refuses to make honest choices cannot offer an honest relationship. Remember that your heart deserves consistency, respect, and someone who chooses you completely, not only when it's easy, exciting, or convenient. Hold on to that truth because it has the power to save you from years of waiting for a future that was never truly being built. But you didn't do anything wrong. The reality is that he never planned to give you anything more than what was convenient for him. From the very beginning, all he offered were small pieces, little moments, the leftovers from a life he was already living somewhere else. And you deserve far more than that. You deserve someone who messages you without fear, who calls you without looking over his shoulder, who proudly takes you out in public instead of hiding you in secret. You deserve someone who makes room for you in every part of the day, not only during the hours nobody else can see. You deserve someone who gives you their complete attention instead of whatever remains after they've already invested everything in another life. You deserve to be someone's first choice, never someone's hidden secret. Think about this for a moment. If you continue accepting crumbs, how can you ever expect the full love you truly deserve? Some people offer very little because they know someone will eventually accept it, but you are not meant to live that way. You were never created to settle for half-hearted affection. You deserve to be loved openly, honestly, and completely. You deserve to be appreciated with sincerity, introduced with pride, and held by someone whose actions match their words. Stay with me, because the next truth may completely change how you see your own worth. He's not choosing you. And although that may be one of the hardest truths to hear, it may also be the one that finally sets you free. When a man truly wants to build a future with you, he doesn't hide you behind excuses. He doesn't keep asking you to wait while he continues living another life. He doesn't limit your relationship to secret conversations, hidden meetings, or stolen moments. He proudly brings you into his world. He makes space for you in his everyday life without hesitation or shame. He protects your heart not only with beautiful words, but with clear, undeniable actions. If he is still emotionally or legally committed to another woman while continuing to chase after you, then he is not choosing you at all. He is choosing what feels easiest and most comfortable for himself. He wants everything without sacrificing anything. He wants the security of his home, the image of his family, and your attention at the same time. That isn't choosing love. Choosing That is choosing convenience. No matter how convincing his promises sound, if nothing in his life is actually changing for you, then you are not being chosen. You are simply being used to fill an emotional space. Don't stop listening, because this next part is something many people only realize after years of heartbreak. Maybe he tells you that you're the best thing that's ever happened to him. Maybe he says you make him feel alive, or that he's never experienced feelings like these before. Naturally, your heart wants to believe those words because the emotions feel real. The chemistry feels undeniable. The connection seems powerful, but emotions alone are not proof of commitment. Feelings are not the same as actions. So ask yourself the questions that truly matter. Where are the decisions he keeps talking about? Where is the relationship he promised to end? Where are the real plans for a future that exists outside hidden messages and rushed meetings? If his love exists only in whispered words, but never appears in his choices, then it isn't love. It's emotional manipulation wrapped in romance. When a man claims to love you while continuing to sleep beside someone else, share his daily life with her, and carry on as though nothing has changed, that isn't a picture of love. It's avoidance. It's fear. It's selfishness wearing the mask of passion. Real love doesn't leave your heart filled with confusion. It doesn't keep you waiting endlessly or make you question your own worth. It doesn't ask you to settle for second place while pretending that's enough. Real love is different. It chooses you with confidence. It brings peace instead of constant uncertainty. It gives you security instead of endless excuses. It creates a real place for you in someone's life rather than leaving you standing outside, hoping things will someday change. So if you're involved with someone who still hasn't left his partner but continues telling you he loves you, ask yourself the question that matters more than any promise he has ever made. Is he truly choosing me? Or am I simply filling an empty space while he refuses to face his own life? Am I genuinely loved? Or am I only serving a purpose until his emotions settle down again? Because when a man sincerely chooses you, he chooses you completely. He chooses you with his time, his presence, his actions, his priorities, and most importantly, with consistent effort every single day. Never accept becoming someone's hidden chapter simply because they lack the courage to finish the previous one. You are not a distraction. You are not a temporary escape. You are not someone meant to fill lonely evenings or emotional gaps. You deserve to be completely chosen, never half accepted or kept in the shadows. And if he cannot offer you that kind of love, it doesn't mean you aren't enough. It simply means he isn't capable of loving you the way you truly deserve. So starting today, stop focusing on him and the promises he keeps repeating. Stop waiting for words that never become reality. Turn your attention back toward yourself. You deserve someone who reaches for your hand without fear, who proudly calls you in the middle of the day, who stands beside you in the open, and who gives you all of their heart instead of whatever happens to be left over. You deserve to be the center of someone's life, not the escape they visit whenever it's convenient. If you keep accepting crumbs, how can you ever expect to receive the full meal? People who give very little often continue doing so because they know someone will eventually settle for less. But you are not that person. You were never meant to settle. You were meant to experience a love that is open, steady, honest, and filled with genuine commitment. He's not choosing you. Please hear this carefully because it may be one of the most difficult truths to accept, but it is also one of the most freeing. When a man truly wants to be with you, he doesn't keep you hidden. He doesn't only make time for you after dark. He doesn't tuck you away like a secret he hopes nobody discovers. He doesn't limit your relationship to stolen moments when no one else is watching. Instead, he proudly makes space for you in every part of his life. He introduces you without hesitation. He stands beside you without making excuses. But if he is still committed to another woman while continuing to pursue you, then he is not choosing you at all. He is protecting his own comfort. He is choosing to keep both worlds instead of making one honest decision. And no matter how beautiful his words may sound, you are not truly being chosen. You are simply being used to meet his emotional needs. Stay with me, because the next part may completely change the way you see this situation. That truth may sound harsh. It may even be painful to hear, and chances are he will never admit it openly. Instead, he will probably tell you exactly what you want to hear. He may say you're the best thing that has ever happened to him. He may tell you he's never felt this way before, or that you make him feel alive again. Of course you want to believe those words because your heart feels the connection. The chemistry feels real. The attraction feels powerful. But don't stop at feelings alone. Ask yourself about the facts. Where are the real changes in his life? Where are the honest decisions he keeps promising? Where is the relationship he says he's going to end? Where are the genuine plans that don't have to remain hidden behind secret messages and private meetings? Beautiful words without meaningful action become nothing more than emotional bait. They keep you emotionally attached while everything around you stays exactly the same. When a man says he loves you but continues living with another woman, continues sharing his everyday life, his home and his nights with her, he is not choosing you. He is using your attention to fill an emptiness inside himself. He wants to feel admired. He wants to escape his own problems without actually solving them. That isn't love. It's selfishness wearing the appearance of romance. Don't stop listening, because this next truth is one that can protect your heart for years to come. Real love never tries to hurt you on purpose. It doesn't leave you confused or wondering where you stand. It doesn't keep you waiting in silence while carrying guilt that never belonged to you. It doesn't place you in second position while expecting you to be grateful for whatever attention you receive. Real love is clear. It is dependable. It brings peace instead of anxiety. It gives certainty instead of endless promises that never become reality. It creates a place where you feel secure instead of constantly questioning your value. So if someone tells you they love you but still hasn't walked away from their partner, ask yourself one honest question. Is this person truly choosing me, or am I simply filling an emotional gap so they don't have to face loneliness? Am I genuinely loved, or am I only replacing something that's missing in another relationship? Because when someone truly chooses you, they don't appear only when it's convenient. They don't love you in secret. They love you openly with their time, their actions, their commitment, and their consistency. Never allow yourself to become someone's hidden chapter. Never become the quiet part of someone else's unfinished story. You are not a pause between relationships. You are not a second chance while someone refuses to close the first chapter. You deserve to be chosen completely and without hesitation. If he cannot do that, the problem is not your worth. The problem is that he cannot offer the kind of love you truly deserve. So stop focusing on what he says he might do someday. Stop repeating the same exhausting cycle of waiting for promises that never become reality. Instead, ask yourself one simple but life-changing question. What do I honestly deserve? Do I deserve to be the other woman, living quietly in someone else's shadow? Do I deserve to experience love only through secrecy, guilt, and hidden moments? Do I deserve to spend my life waiting until someone finally has time for me, as though I'm only a backup plan? Do I deserve to hide my emotions and shrink myself just to fit inside another person's unfinished life? The answer is no. You were never meant to live in the margins of someone else's story. You were never meant to carry another person's secrets or defend someone who refuses to make brave, honest choices. You were never created to settle for half-hearted affection disguised as passion. You deserve something complete, a relationship you never have to hide. A love that makes you feel safe instead of suspicious. A love that never asks you to compete for your place. A love that recognizes your value and proves it through actions every single day. You deserve someone who isn't afraid to begin a new chapter with you, someone who doesn't need two separate lives to feel complete, someone who can look into your eyes and confidently say, "I choose you," and then prove those words through real time, real commitment, real presence, and consistent action. You deserve peaceful Sunday mornings without wondering if you'll hear from him. You deserve phone calls in the middle of the day instead of whispered conversations that only happen when everyone else is asleep. You deserve a love that is whole, visible, secure, and unwavering. Never beg for love. Never feel you must earn your worth or wait quietly in the darkness hoping someone finally sees your value. You were never meant to be someone's secret. You were meant to be someone's greatest priority. So lift your head, trust your value, and walk away when necessary. Not because you've given up, but because you've finally chosen yourself.